Hi, I'm Tony Ozan, and I just wanted to share a bit of information about the new Gungahlin Business Over Breakfast group, which kicked off on the 13th of August right here in Gungahlin. And this is all about where you can have a networking group where you come for breakfast, but you leave with business. So what I want to cover is who I am, what the group is and why we're doing it, a bit about the structure and the process, how membership, visitors and growth of the group works, and also how the agenda, education for yourself and getting the most return on investment works. So let's start off with the who, what and why. Well, I am Tony Ozan and I'm a Canberra-based business coach. I've been coaching for about 5 years, work with business owners to help them put process into their business, but more importantly, I thought this is an opportunity to bring together like-minded business owners in a structured referral-based concept so that they can maximise their return and do networking that's based in Gungahlin rather than travelling to other places. Because look, face it, networking is critical to your business. It's something that there's various formats that exist around town. Most of them are based in the city or based in Deakin or somewhere else. And it's time for Gungahlin to have its own standalone networking group. So there's a big opportunity there for it. And look, let's face it, we are one of the fastest growing regions within Australia. What we're doing is, look, there's various formats of networking around. There's structured, there's unstructured, there's your casual networking, there's different types of events run by different organisations with varying levels of membership or free events or whatever they may be. But I've decided to go with the structured group because from my experience the structured format works better. It's also going to be set up where you've got a single category ownership, so that means one of each business category can join. I found that this is the most effective because you can then form relationships with a particular person in a particular category. Let's say they're a real estate agent or an accountant or someone in marketing. If there's multiple people there, it makes the whole referral process a little bit awkward. If you give referrals to one person because you know, like and trust them, and the other two people are sitting there saying, well, why haven't I got a referral? I wanted to set up something that's affordable because there are some expensive ones, and we need a model that is affordable for people. It's not a massive outlay of cost, and there's opportunity for startups or established businesses to actually join. So it will be a membership-based group moving forward. And also there needs to be a level of accountability, but not too much, and I'll explain that a little bit later. Some of the goals of the group is I want it to be a serious business networking group, but not too serious. So we have seriousness in regards to what we do and how we do it, but without the rigidness of some of the other groups that are out there. So we want to be sort of self-accountable in some of the performance measures that we look at. It needs to be fun. We want to have like-minded members. We want to have people who really want to participate and engage. And it's all about building business relationships. And we want, obviously, people who have integrity, they offer value in what they do, and they're accountable to themselves and to others. So that's a little bit about the background. Let's look at the structure and the process of how it will work, because structure is critical to the success of anything. So we need to have a structure and a process. Bottom line is structure works. As I said before, I've been involved with groups that have been non-structured, where you just simply turn up for breakfast, have a chat to a few people, and sort of that's it. The rest is up to you. That doesn't suit some people because some people are a little bit shy and actually putting themselves out there. If you have a process that's structured, where it's an agenda that's set, the agenda is set for success, well, it will work, and that will obviously ensure the return on your investment, which is critical in your business activities. So there will be structure in regards to the format of the meeting, in the way in which people apply to join, and also in some of the accountability measures that we look at. And the members participate in the structure for success. So we need to have members who are willing to participate and take part in that structure. As far as meetings go, obviously start on time, end on time. So we start at 7 o'clock for a 7:15 start. So the first 15 minutes is for your informal networking. So that's where you get the chance to chat to people, one-on-one or in small groups or whatever it may be. And that's where you can grab a coffee and have that chat before we get started. But we need to be seated and ready to go at 7:15. So in that time, you get your coffee, you order your breakfast, and be ready to go. During the meeting, you get that chance to talk about your business or what type of referral you're after for a 1-minute time frame that will be timed. And one of the structures and processes we have is that you make sure that you stick to that 60 seconds. The agenda is a structured agenda. I'm not going to go through this bit by bit. You can read it if you like, but We do have a very rigid process that we use for the agenda, the meeting agenda. So it covers, some bits where the leader will be talking, some bits where the education person will be talking. Then you get a chance to talk about your business. We get guest speakers, and we sort of go through that whole process. Now, applications, the way the applications will work is, as I said, it's designed to be a low-cost, low-risk investment. The way I've done that, rather than have an annual membership that a lot of groups have, I'm having 3 payment cycles per year. So you don't have to commit for a 12-month period, although you can if you wish, and there's some discounts that apply for that. But it gives you the opportunity to participate for 4 months, and then you get a chance to renew based on your performance and based on your return on investment that you're tracking. It's only $10 a week, so that's paid in advance for that 16-week block. So every three lots of 4 months, you'll get an invoice for the next 4 months membership. And obviously, there's that's your opportunity to opt out if you wish to. And as I said, there is some discounts apply for longer term membership. So if you want to apply for 6 months, you save a little bit of money. If you want to apply for 12 months, I've noticed there's a typing mistake there. You do get $400 for 12 months, which saves you a little bit more as well. So it's not a massive investment. As I said, I've been part of membership groups that have charged well over $1,000 a year just to be a part of the group. And it's a big expenditure for a small business, especially a startup business. And if you don't know, what your potential return may be. By getting in, obviously, for a longer term, well, it secures your position for a longer term as well. So, that is something to consider, I suppose. So that's the membership. There's also a meeting fee, which we charge for our breakfast and our room hire costs, and that's $30 per meeting, and that's invoiced in advance each month. So you've got your membership fee at $10 a week, plus your meeting fee of $30 per meeting. As far as the structure and process around applications, well, for people who wish to join, you can lodge the form to the membership team or to myself at tony@tonyozan.com. We do vet the application, so there'll be an interview with someone from the membership team. That might be just over the phone, or it could be over a coffee, or whatever it may be. Nothing too daunting, but just where we sort of find out, well, what are your expectations, and what do you want to get out of the group, and how can you contribute to the group. We do conduct reference checks on the references that you provide, and they're business references, just to make sure that you've got a good reputation and that people are saying good things about you. Once you're successful, we then put your application to the members to see if there's any objections, and obviously, any objections need to be substantiated. It can't just be, well, I don't like this person, so don't put him in. And then we let you know what's happening, and you get issued your invoice for your membership and for your meeting. As for accountability, well, accountability is critical. It's another thing, what gets measured gets done. We will track some KPIs, but as I mentioned before, we want to track them and sort of be a little bit self-accountable. So, if there's any major concerns with participation or anything like that, we'll address that with the individual member. But we want to, we expect people to, make that effort to be turning up each week, because the benefit of the group and the benefit to yourself is critical. But also understand that things do happen, and that life does get in the way sometimes, and we've all got kids and different things like that. So, or we go on holidays. So there are times where you won't be there. So that's all taken into consideration. But obviously, being a self-managed, I guess, a level of accountability, well, you will know if you're not turning up or not committing or whatever it may be. So therefore, at the end of your 4 months, you probably will make that decision yourself that you don't wish to continue, or it won't be a difficult sort of discussion that we need to have. But accountability, obviously, is a critical element to it, and we need to have some measures in place just so we know how the group's actually performing, because we want to make sure we've got a successful group that everyone's benefiting from. Okay, let's look at membership, visitors, and how do we want to grow. Look, members is the critical element to the group's success. That is the lifeblood of the group. We need to have a solid foundation of members to actually make the group effective each week. So we do need to have that core group, and that's what we're in the process of doing, and in the process of recruiting new people into the group. The members are the ones who put on the show each week. Okay, so the actual process of the meeting is like the show. So that's where we go through the agenda. We do our sales talk for our 60 seconds. We hand out referrals. We do all those sorts of things, and that's designed as a recruitment tool. So obviously, the more members we have, the more business you get, because the more connections that you get linked into. We encourage you to invite visitors and send them to the booking page, which will be on the link below. And also people can come along and suss us out and see what it's like, and they can come up to 3 times before they decide whether they want to join or not. So we encourage people to come along and have a look and see whether it's something they feel that they can actually get. As an incentive for members, if you bring a new member and they join up, well, you'll get 1 month's free membership as a result of that as well. So a little bit of a carrot there for people to bring people in. The agenda I've already covered, but education is critical, especially being a new group. Some people haven't been exposed to networking before, so it's important that we have the responsibility to teach them how to get the best out of the group. So every week as part of the agenda there is an education section. Okay, so that's where you might get tips and tricks and different strategies you can use in the effectiveness of your membership. So how do you do your 60 seconds properly? How can you do your 10-minute presentation and all those sorts of things. Initially the 10-minute part will be taken up where I'll actually give some how-tos to the group so that you can get some tips on the key drivers of the networking concept. And throughout the year we'll bring in some guest speakers as well. People in the business or networking space can come in and actually offer some independent advice and tips to people, because look, the role really is of the people who are running the group is to make sure that the success of the group is determined by by the level of commitment and education and understanding of networking and how they can get the most out of it. So the leadership group will be involved in mentoring, offering advice, there for any questions or concerns that people have. Like everything you do, you need to measure your return on investment. So you're spending investing money into this concept, so you need to see, are you getting a return out of it? So obviously there is a direct correlation between the amount of effort you put into the amount of effort you get out of it. If you just turn up every week and sort of don't participate, don't get to know anyone, don't find out about what they do and make it all about you and sit back and expect to get referrals, well, you probably won't. You need to build those connections. You need to get people to know, like, and trust you, because that's when people tend to do business with you. You can do that by meeting outside the meeting. Go and have a one-on-one with them and find out about their business and tell them about your business. And more importantly, make sure that you track and measure your own return on investment. Not just with this, but with all the activities that you do. There's 3 formal roles within the group as far as the structure. There's the group leader, who's the person who will run and chair the meeting. There's a membership leader, so that's the person who will be the first point of contact for applications and for any concerns that people within the group may have. And then there's the education leader, so that's the person who will facilitate the education piece each week and offer any tips or advice on people on how they get the best out of the networking. They will be held for a term of the 16 weeks in conjunction with the membership sort of time frame. Obviously people who do these roles, that's a sort of a voluntary role, but there will be some additional time commitment needed outside of the meeting, so you'll take time to do some reference checks or catch up with applications and all those sorts of things, and to sort of, I guess, reward people for stepping up into those roles, well, they'll get complimentary membership fee for the duration of their term. So if you're the membership leader for the first 4 months, well, you'll get your fees credited for that 4-month period. You still have to pay your meeting costs, so they still pay the breakfast cost each week, but your membership fees will be waived as a way of saying thank you. So that's a little bit about how the group's going to work. So it is very structured, so really, I guess, if there's an interest there, you can download the application form, and because we're a new group, all categories are pretty much open at the moment, so if there's an interest there, especially in some of the highly competitive categories, which I won't mention, but there are some categories in all networking groups that are usually the first ones to go. Get your application in, because the sort of first ones in, as long as you pass the application sort of vetting process, you'll secure that spot and effectively block out your competition from taking that spot as well. I guess also think about other people you can invite or who may benefit, and share the information along with them. And if you're still unsure, have a look and book on the link below, and just come along and be a visitor and suss it out and see whether it's something that would potentially work for you, and ask people about their experience. And if people want to step up to become part of the leadership team, well, let me know. So that's a very, very, very fast and very brief overview of the Gungahlin Business Over Breakfast group. Hope it's something that may benefit your business. If so, just look at the links below and come along and check us out. We meet on every Thursday at Neighbourhood Cafe in Ernest Kavanagh Street in Gungahlin from 7 till 8:30, but you do need to pre-book your spot on the links below rather than just rock up. So thanks a lot for listening, and as I said, I'm Tony Ozan, and hope to see you soon at the Gungahlin Business Over Breakfast.